marching in, when the saints go marching in, Lord, I want to be in that number, when the saints go marching in, when the saints go marching in, when the saints go marching in, I want to hear that trumpet play. When the saints go marching in, when the saints go marching in, I want to hear that clarinet blow. Oh, when the saints go marching in, when the saints go marching in, I want to hear that trombone wail. Oh, when the saints go marching in, when the saints go marching in, Lord, I want to be in that number, when the saints go marching in, when the saints go marching in, when the saints go marching in, Lord, I want to be in that number.
The next day, I got a call from Gordon Stratton, owner of the Velvet Cellar. I only knew two things about Stratton. He had the guts to try and make out with another village trap, and apparently the money to back his play. The spot had the appropriate tag, the Velvet Cellar. In addition to serving up good old Dixieland music to a generation who had been born too late, the signs outside promised another dish, Dixie D.
Near the corner, by the square, the drinks were served as usual, and a swinging crowd was there. On my left stood Joe McKinney, his eyes bloodshot and red. He gazed at the crowd around him, and these were the words that he said. As I passed by St. James Infirmary.
You're early for the show.
I figured I was right on time.
Dixie, we have to get this right.
Tell Barney he's great on the piano. He gets jealous of my public.
Barney, you're great.
Is there something I can do for you?
Well, yeah, I got a call from Mr. Stratton. Asked me to come down.
Oh, you're the private detective.
My name is Mike Hammer.
You see, I've got a special stake in all this. Those characters who broke in here, they weren't out just to break up some chairs. They wanted to get me.
Any idea who these creeps were?
We know who hired them, that's enough.
You, Mr. Stratton?
Yeah.
Well, looks like you walked into a violent gesture.
Tim Nashua, he runs the Blue Ox across the street. He was behind it.
Mike, maybe you could go up to old Tim and sort of muss him up.
Chicky, you got your wires crossed. You don't want me. You want a goon squad.
And I think that all of this is because he just had to have me.
Don't you have work to do?
Isn't he the slave driver, though? But he does watch over Dixie. I got no kick coming. Mike, when you finally do get to see old Tim, would you tell him to do me a favor and drop dead?
attractive attraction you got there.
What she said about Nashua, it's right. He's out to put me out of business because Dixie and the band came over to me.
I wonder what she's got. Oh, silly question.
She has a big following.
Yeah, I can see that. What I don't understand is why Devon called the cops in on all this.
I have no proof it's Nashua. And cops hanging around trying to find some won't help business. I like this place. It's fun and it does real well. But when I get home at night, I have a wife.
Oh.
I don't want the papers splashed with headlines about my troubles.
Well, just what do you want me to do?
Make this Nashua character lay off. Dixie came over because she wanted to.
And you intend keeping her, huh?
With Dixie, it's what she wants that counts.
Tell me, was there any special reason why this Nashua character would have a gripe about Dixie? I mean, other than the fact that she moved over here.
I guess he thought he had a thing going with her.
Did he?
That's Dixie's talent. You can never know for sure.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Okay, Mr. Stratton, I'll go have a chat with him.
6 crap shooters as pallbearers. Let a chorus girl sing me a song with a jazz band.
You can have my check ready.
My hearse to raise the devil as we go along. And now you've heard my story. I'll take another shot of booze. If anybody happens to ask you, then I've got those gamblers blues.
It's not that I'm not interested. Who are you?
Yeah, my name's Mike Hammer. Don't mind me. You go right ahead with what you're doing. Okay, Tim. I'll talk to you later.
Get out of here.
Yeah, somehow I get the feeling that you're not anxious to see me.
I don't need no private eye.
You may be needing a lot of things, buddy.
What are you talking about?
Hiring a bunch of goons, going over there, breaking Stratton's joint up across the street. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Here you are, you got a nice, classy office. You're acting like you never got out of the gutter.
You kidding? Out of here. Now.
You see, I treat you nice and it doesn't do any good.
What do you want?
It's not what I want, Nashua. It's what's going to be. You're going to stay on your own side of the street and you're going to stay out of the velvet cellar. Right?
Right? Right. Just like that, huh?
Yeah, just like that.
You come in here, push me around, I forget everything.
What's to forget? You get yourself a new songbird, everybody's happy.
Yeah, well, it ain't that easy. I gave that dame and the band their first real break. Before that, they were from nowhere.
All right, so she's got ambition. Stratton's got a flossier joint. He's paying her more loot.
I built her up. Put her on a contract that'd give her everything.
So why don't you hold her to the contract?
You don't hold her. Not on anything.
What about the band? You had them under contract, didn't you?
Ah, Dixie, the band is nothing, and she knows it. She's the kind who uses what she knows. You have her around, pretty soon you're forgetting who's working for who. Hammer, she don't walk out on me or over me. Nobody is.
Yeah. Well... Don't make trouble. Get yourself a Haitian steel band. I hear they're the greatest. Learn, Nashua. As far as you're concerned, Dixie is dead.
Come in.
Can I talk to you, Dixie?
Yeah, sure thing, Johnny. Sweetie, would you hand me those tissues, please?
What are you trying to work, Dixie?
What do you mean?
I know you a long time. Don't work any of your routines on me. You're trying to get Stratton to dump me. I want to know why.
Why should I want to do a thing like that?
You're doing it. I can smell it. I want the reason.
It's what Mr. Stratton wants. That's what counts, isn't it, Johnny?
Don't give me the Mr. Stratton bit. You've got the ring through his nose. You're calling the turns.
He's a good businessman. He knows what's drawing the customers. You're just not what you used to be, Johnny. It's not my fault.
And that two-bit piano player is?
Barney's still going up. You've had it. Now get out of here.
You're not pushing me around.
Johnny!
I go, I drag you all the way.
Get out and take your horn with you. You're through.
It's not going to be this easy, Dixie. You'll pay plenty.
What are you going to do, pull out the band? I've already put it to them. You're all alone, Clef. They're sticking.
You brought yourself a lot of trouble, Mr. Stratton. You just don't know how much. I figured I'd stop off at Stratton's joint later that night just to make sure Nashua got my message. But first, there was something else I had to take care of. The banner headline that Dixie D had been murdered came like a blow to the midsection. But the haymaker came with a call from Nashua himself, the guy who had been positively identified as running from Dixie's room and whom the cops wanted bad. He phoned from his hideout and offered me a proposition. I agreed to meet him but made no promises. Blushing Bride Cosmetics. I like your other layout better.
I intend getting back there.
That I very much doubt.
Hammer, whether I live or die, that don't mean nothing to you.
Yeah.
Okay, I ain't asking favors, I'm buying.
What you need, Nashua boy, I can't sell.
I didn't kill that dame, so help me.
Then what were you doing there?
I got a call saying she wanted to see me. Okay, I know how it sounds, but it's the truth, so help me. Got there and she was dead. Had nothing to do with it.
Sure. Sure, just like you didn't have a thing to do with those goons busting up the Velvet Cellar, huh?
Okay, so I pick up a couple of rockheads in the pool hall and give them a C. What's it mean? It's all part of the business. But no killing, Hammer. You gotta believe me.
Then why did you run?
What else? I was there. Cops would have picked me up for sure. They're looking for me now, ain't they?
This is what you wanted to tell me?
Hammer. I can buy myself hoods. I can buy myself a hideout like this. I need more than that now. I need a guy that's gonna go out and get me off the hook.
You could have told me this on the telephone.
Hammer, I'm offering you a roll.
I'm not taking it. Not till I'm convinced that you're clean.
If I wasn't what I called you, as you come down here, I'm laying myself wide open to you.
Yeah? Yeah, that you are. That's your boy. That you are.
What are you talking about?
Come on in, boys.
Why, you... This double-cross you. I'd get you for this, Hammer, if it's the last thing I do.
Listen to me. When you called me, I made no promises. If you're guilty, you belong to them. But on the other hand, if you're innocent, I'll prove it and spring you. Now, that is a promise. All right, boys, it's all yours.
Without her around, it's not going to be the same.
What about this Clef character you canned yesterday? How come?
Do I have to have a reason?
You
said the police have Nashua. Doesn't that end it? I'm supposed to be running a business.
You know, for a guy who's supposed to be all shook up over somebody being knocked off, you certainly do recover fast.
Clef and Dixie didn't get along.
Why not?
Ah, what I know, temperament. She asked me to get rid of him.
Okay, boys, we're getting close. Let's take 10.
Tell me, where can I find this Clef character?
Ask Barney, he'd know.
Thanks loads.
Hiring you. That didn't do Dixie much good, did it?
I guess not. But maybe finding her killer will.
You know what I keep thinking of? I'm in a room. There's just Nashua and me.
I guess you're the only one who's really shook up over Dixie's death, huh?
Well, I'm supposed to be happy. You know, I got my own band and all that. But now, no Dixie. Nothing means a thing.
Stratton said that you might know where I could find Clef.
He's got a pad on 27th Street. 617 West.
Thanks.
No, Curly, I'm not looking for a job. Sure, I understand. Yeah. Oh, I figure I'll take a trip. Down to Bermuda, maybe. Come in. Yeah. Yeah, Curly. Say, listen. I mean, there may be some delay in my leaving. If you hear of anything, you could take a chance to give me a call, huh? Yeah. Yeah, you too, Curly.
Long time no see.
I know you?
Yeah, I think so. I think we got a pretty big mutual friend. Unless that was your twin who was in Nashua's office.
Beat it. I got nothing to say to you.
Now, wait, let's just try, huh? See, it's pretty simple. All I do is ask some questions, and you give me some answers.
Like what?
Well, like, for instance, what were you doing in Nashua's office?
Because I could smell the knife coming. I know that Dixie from the old days. I just didn't want to get it in the back.
So you came to peddle a deal with Nashua, huh?
I came to beg a job just like I was trying to do now.
And you tried the same thing with Dixie, only it didn't work. And you got mad. Huh, Clef, real mad.
More than mad, mister. That dame. She owed me.
Owed you? For what?
Without me, she and that Barney Lash character would be in some cotton field.
Cotton field? How come?
I gave them their first break. I was barnstorming down in Biloxi, Mississippi. They came to me. Hayseeds. I dressed her up, bought her her first decent dress, and put her up in front of the band. She wasn't much to hear at first, but she sure looked good.
So you fell real hard, huh?
What are you digging for?
Because the guy who killed Dixie had a good reason. You're not in mourning, are you, Clef?
No, I'm not. She's dead, and I'm not losing any sleep over it. But I didn't do it. Not because I didn't want to. Because I didn't have the guts.
Then you better start puzzling out who did, buddy boy, because in my book, you're number one.
Yeah? And what about Nashua? And what about Stratton?
Stratton, what about Stratton?
He thought he had a good thing working. Only he was having his troubles. Dixie wasn't going to hold still.
Hold still for what?
One thing about Dixie. She always wanted what she couldn't have. And Stratton had himself a wife. He wasn't all fired up on ditching.
Yeah? Keep talking.
Go ask Stratton a couple of questions. Ask him what that rhubarb was about he was having with Dixie.
Rhubarb, when?
Yesterday. They were in her room. I was heading out. I could hear him yelling and all.
Yeah? Clef, would you mind telling me what you were doing last night?
I'll tell you. I was at Carter's, a 52nd Street dive, acting like I owned the world and trying to hustle a job. You can check it.
I'll check it. I made a couple of telephone calls myself, and it was a good few hours before I could get back to Gordon Stratton, the man who didn't seem too broken up that Dixie was no more.
That's enough, honey. Sorry.
The show must go on, huh?
Stratton's idea. Thinks he can find another Dixie.
That I doubt.
Mr. Hammer, don't you think you can find something better to do with your time?
Yeah, sure, but I like it here just fine. Besides, this case hasn't been wrapped up yet.
What do you mean?
How come you didn't tell me you had a blow up with Dixie yesterday?
There was nothing to tell.
Then let me tell you.
I'll get going.
No, stick around. We've got no secrets.
We had a little misunderstanding.
You mean she was getting ready to blow the whistle on you? She was through playing footsie. She wanted to play for keeps.
I'm married. She knew that all along.
Yeah, she also had enough on you to make your wife want to forget you, but quick.
Are you saying I killed Dixie?
I'm saying you might have. Only somebody beat you to it.
That little Clef, you mean he...
No, I don't mean Clef. I don't mean Nashua. I mean you, Barney.
You're way off, Mike.
No, I'm right in the button, Barney. See, Dixie was going to pay you off. She was giving you the band. And you were supposed to stand still for it.
For what?
The same way you sat still all along. I mean, right from the beginning. When Clef discovered you two, she was bringing you along. So you decided to keep your eyes closed. And then with Nashua, well, you kept your eyes closed there, too. I guess you figured that what you didn't see wouldn't hurt. Anyway, Dixie had always come back. Right, Barney?
She and I, we were a real team.
Yeah, that's right, Barney. But she was dumping you. She wanted Stratton now, wedding bells and all.
Hey, you're wrong. If anyone was on Barney's side, it was Dixie.
I mean, as if a band could be a payoff, huh, Barney? But tell me, why the big secret? Why?
What secret?
That was something Clef said. Afterwards, I kept wondering, why would a gal like Dixie be so loyal? So I made a couple of telephone calls long distance to Biloxi, Mississippi. In the city hall down there's a wedding certificate between Bernard Lash and Ellen Devers. Our gal, Dixie D. Right, Bernard? Stayed in Biloxi, Barney.
It was the only way I could hold her. She said she wouldn't be tied down.
So you became just a piano player, huh? Good old Barney.
I told her I wouldn't let her go. I told her.
Well, maybe you haven't. You'll be joining her soon enough.